And we are live. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna give this a few seconds for people to kind of roll in, and then I'm gonna make sure that you guys can hear me. So let me know in the chat if you can't. Hi Leah. Hi Carol. Um, Two people are here. 15 are here. Hi Patty. All right. Okay. So people are rolling in. That's great. Sorry, guys. I'm like a few minutes late. I was just getting things in order. Hi, Zanette. Because today I'm going to be announcing the winner of the Behind the Mask artwork that we did that I painted last Sunday. So I'm super, super excited to announce that. I can't believe 1 week passed by so quickly. If you guys have not had a chance to check out the song, you should definitely check it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful song by a very dear friend of mine, and the message is just stunning. And I felt like it was so in point with what the kind of community that we have with the Hello Clarice G Watercolor Challenge happening. And just with everything happening in the world, I just feel like it was like such an iconic song, and it was perfect to add to the Spotify list and whatnot. So thank you for everyone who participated. And yeah, I'm just waiting. People are still coming in. Hi, Katie. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Edna. Thanks, Patty. I'm so glad you loved it. All right. So in other news, I'm gonna announce who the winner is. Just give me a second. I want to talk about the Hello Clarice G challenge, which is coming up to a wrap very, very quickly. Again, where did the time go? Because it's been 3 weeks. This is going to be the fourth week. And then we are going to wrap up next Sunday, which is going to be Sunday, May 30th, which is also my birthday. So what we will do online will be a little bit of a birthday party. So I hope you guys are able to make it. Definitely be doing the giveaways, announcing the giveaways on Sunday as well. So if you've not been a part of the challenge, or you have been a part of the challenge but just don't know about the giveaways, check it out on the website. We've got giveaways by Canson, ETCHR, and very recently St. Petersburg. So check those out, because I've got pictures and I've got details on what you get. Someone messaged me, I think it was Barbara. Hi, Cindy. Oh, Patty, yes, of course. Friends, please bring wine for the party next Sunday if you wish. I will not say no. And yes, so someone had a question. Barbara had a question. She emailed me and she said, I just wanted to clarify, how do you qualify for the giveaways for the challenge? And because she doesn't have an Instagram account, so she was just wondering if people who didn't have an Instagram account and weren't able to share or follow me on there, would they qualify? And the answer is yes, because if you check your emails, guys, and you see what I've asked you to do in order to complete the challenge in I think there's 3 points. As long as you do those, you're fine. The main thing, someone else had asked me, oh, do I have to be a part of the Facebook community to qualify for the challenge? And the answer is yes, because that's how you're able to interact with other artists doing the same thing. And I'm able to see you interacting and seeing your comments as well. So yes, being a part of the Facebook group is a must. You can, if you're ambitious and you're just finding out about this challenge and you want to win, or you just want to do the challenge just to challenge yourself in a week, it's not too late to start. You can totally do it now, just as long as once May 30th hits, I know that you have completed all 13 of them. So that's the whole idea behind it. And yeah, so I think the next number 11 will go out on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday morning. And that's going to be Martini, I believe. So stay tuned for that fun painting that's going to be coming up. Okay, enough rambling. Drum roll for who is winning the painting that I don't have. Oh, here it is. I have it. Right here, my painting from last Sunday, including the very fancy lettering signature that I did on there. And the winner is Patty. So Patty, congratulations. Message me later on so that I can get your info to mail this to you. And I'm just going to put this on the side. No, actually, I'm not going to put it on the side in case water falls on it. And then there goes that. Okay, so today I am going to flip. I think now we are ready to begin. So I'm going to flip this over. Hi, Karen. I'm just going to make sure that you are able to see. Let's start painting, shall we? Transition here. Perfect. So now you can see my painting. And you can see my face. Perfect. Okay. So, as per usual, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm using here. And then we can start. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Karen. Okay. So, I'm just going to use my swatching chart from the challenge to let you guys know what colors I'm using. So we're going to do loose florals, much like last Sunday, except with a lesser variety. So it should be less daunting for those of you who would like to just be consistent and do the same kind of florals. Oops, sorry. That was my screen on here just falling down. Give me a second to make sure it is good. There we go. All right, colors. So I'm going to be using the Carmine, Golden, Madder Lake Red this time. We'll keep the yellowish green handy, green, which I really like, and then the yellow ochre as well, because I think mixing the yellow ochre with the yellowish green kind of gives us some really nice results. And so that's what we're gonna do. Hi, Vic. Yeah, Patty, congrats. Hi, Caddy. Or Katie from France, welcome. All right, moving these aside, for my brushes, I am using Silver Black Velvet 4 and 8. And then obviously the mop in 1 as well, because I'm gonna have some nice, we're going for nice and loose florals. And then I've got my 2 little things of water ready and handy. Paper, I am using ETCHR, the ETCHR sketchbook right here, if you guys are not familiar with it. And anyways, all of these items are listed in the description below. So if you're keen on getting a closer look at what I'm using, you can just check that out. And my palette by Lisi Arts. All right, great. I think we are ready to begin. Just give me one more second to do one thing here. And then we can start. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So, oh, actually, one more key ingredient that I want to use this Sunday is going to be my spray bottle. So sorry to kind of pounce this on you guys last minute, but I hope you're able to kind of run with where I'm going here. All right, so the spray is going to be something that we're going to start off and then determine where our florals are going to be. But ideally, it's going to be very similar to the loose florals style that we did 2 Sundays ago, which is right here. So we're going to do standing flowers, I guess you could call them, sure. All right, so we're going to begin. And I'm going to start off by doing a spray on my sheet here. And our florals are going to be a nice mixture of the colors that I've already told you about, which is the Carmine, Madder Lake, and Golden. So we'll keep that handy on the side here so we can start mixing those. And here we go. I'm going to keep this ready as well because I think, you know what, let's start mixing the colors first, because if I recollect properly, a lot of you have said that the paper dries really quickly. So just for the sake of that, keeping that issue in mind, let's just mix some golden really quickly onto our palette and keep that ready. And yes, we're gonna use the mop brush to lay down like dominant petals. Majority of the petals. Where's the number 4? Number 4 is right here. So we're gonna put the number 4 and get some of the Madder Lake red. And I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on here, just ready to kind of go. And then if we need any of the carmine, which I'll decide once the color is down, we'll kind of wash the brush off and get some right away. All right, here we go. We're gonna start off by spraying, and I am just gonna go ahead and spray right in the middle, or aiming towards the middle at least. There we go. I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but I've got quite a bit of spray on here. And I'm not going to dab this time. I'm just going to leave it as is, and we'll start. So I want to start off by using the number 4. And I'm going to start off by doing these little loose roses. So you guys know how we do the roses. Well, they're not going to be exactly roses, but we're going to do the C strokes just slightly longer in length. So like this, I'm just pressing down the belly of my brush and kind of going around like this, leaving white space, dipping the tip of my brush in water. I'm going to continue and do that on this side here, and leaving that white space again. Now we're going in with the mop, and we're going to press down, slightly touching some of the red, trying to get some red mixed in there with the golden as we kind of go ahead and do some very loose strokes to create these petals. I'll do one over here touching this red and then kind of going out this way. And we want to just do this, repeat the same motion throughout as we are going around. So leaving white space as well, guys. Don't forget the white space. We're just kind of going to go around and just add this in. So as we're doing newer layers, we are adding white space in between, and then just dipping the tip of our brush in water and then moving along. So the areas which are damp gives us this nice beautiful bleed, making the rose to look very soft and romantic. So again, I'm allowing this random water that we've kind of sprayed here to do its thing, and just I'm kind of sporadically laying down paint and allowing the watercolor to do its thing. Now, whatever's left over with the Madder Lake red, I'm going to go back into the center, and I'm just going to add a couple more of these dabs right in the center so we can get some nice blending, and also it'll be like a nice light to dark. And I'm just going to add just a little bit in the outskirts as well, so we have a little bit of that blending happening with the color, and it kind of looks like they're all part of one floral. And then finally, now we're going to go ahead and get some of the carmine, and I want to introduce some of this carmine onto the outskirts of the flower. So I'm mixing very light version of the carmine on my palette. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Okay, and now I'm going to go, and just on the outskirts of these, I'm just going to add a light stroke using the number 4, dipping some in water. I'm going to do some over here, and I want it to like nicely blend into what we have. So it looks like it's part of the petal. Maybe it's another floral kind of starting off there. And just allowing it to integrate into this golden that we have happening. Now, I like how this has turned out at the top here, but that's because we have the spray happening there. This is a little bit too rigid for me, so I'm just adding some water to the side to give it that flow and just softening the edge because I want it to be looking a lot softer. I'm going to add some over here as well, and then just soften the edges with water so it blends in with that, looking like it's another petal or something. All right, so the key part to all of this is making sure that you have white space in there as well. So just make sure that you don't lose your white space as you're adding this additional strokes of paint to kind of make it look layered and multiple in, not multiple, but like dimensional, I guess, with the colors. So that's the whole idea. We're gonna do the same floral 2 more times at the top and then maybe like some baby ones surrounding it. And again, it's the same technique. Actually, let's just do one here because this area is nice and damp. So using the exact same technique that I was just doing, I'm gonna get some of the Madder Lake Red. Here's your repetition for you. And this time, let's make the flower kind of look upward. So if you watched my segment on IG Live with Jill, if you want to make the flower look upward, you do less petals at the top and more at the bottom, and that's how you get that effect. So starting off doing the center, I'm just doing like rough strokes and allowing the water to kind of do its thing. I'm doing very light strokes at the top, and then I'll do slightly thicker ones at the bottom, so it gives us that impression that it is sideways. Actually, I wanted it to be upward, but now it looks like it's going this way. So here we go. Watercolor has a mind of its own. You gotta sometimes just go with the flow. So now I'm getting some of the golden, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did here. I'm just gonna press down and kind of allow this color to seep into the Madder Lake Red, leaving white space as well. Doing that on this side too, and just like a little bit at the top, just like that, and then just making sure you can see me, adding another one at the bottom here, a very tiny one over here, and I'm not gonna make this floral too full or big. I like what's happening here, and I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. And now we'll go in with the number 4 and getting some of the carmine, mixing that on here. I'm gonna try and get some of the carmine in here. In the edges. And then just maybe a couple of like softer strokes on the outskirts of it. Allowing that golden to kind of seep in as well and do its thing. And then just at the edge here on this petal. So you kind of have to look at your flower and see where you want to highlight these, making sure that you're not losing any of your white space while you're doing this as well. And so we've done that, so that's good. Now that this one's dried, you can see that it's like a lot, it's kind of seeped in because of all the water, but we can go back in and add some additional details a little bit later. So let's just finish the florals before we do that. So again, let's do a third, and this one we can have slightly at the top here. So doing the exact same technique that I've been talking about. Actually, I'm so tempted to add this in right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and see what happens if I add it in right now, because you know what? Do it right now, because it is still slightly damp, and you will get that nice second level blend in if you kind of go in with it right now. And what I mean by that is it's still very slightly damp, so you're getting a blend, just not quite like the blend that we had above there. So just to kind of darken and give your inner part of the flower a little more detail. That's why I'm doing this. And then let's leave that as is. All right, so getting some, back to the third one we're doing, getting some of that from here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side, but this flower, let's make it kind of facing that word, that way, that word. So adding very loose strokes. And now, so less strokes at the top, more at the bottom. Now going in with the golden. Maybe I'm going to add some golden here actually while it is still. Sorry, am I jumping too much for you guys? This is how I typically paint anyway, so sorry if I'm all over the place, but I feel like that nice blend is happening if we kind of layer. This would be a layering. All right, so getting some of that golden now, we're gonna go ahead and tackle this side. So I'm doing this, and again, you want it to be loose. You want the color to kind of flow and do its thing, almost like very abstract looking, and allow the watercolor to do its thing. See, now for something like this, I need to be standing to see what it looks like. Like, I find this is fine. And I just looked up at the screen to see what you guys are seeing, and you're literally only seeing my hand. So I don't know if you guys are seeing much. So I'm just trying to smoothen that part out. So there we go. So I'm leaving that as is. We're gonna get a little bit of the carmine and getting some of the carmine, like I mentioned. I'm just gonna sweep some over here into this area, some at the top, some here at the bottom. And allow it to kind of flow. Getting some more carmine. And just doing very loose strokes of the carmine now. I'm being a little bit bolder than I have been with the others. But you will find yourself doing things like this once you're kind of warmed up into the first few florals. And you know what? Just go with the flow when that happens. Because unless you try something, you're never going to know how it's going to turn out. So be brave. All right, so I think this is good at additions of that. I'm just smoothing this out because I don't want it to be too prominent. Smooth this one out too. Possibly just a little bit here. So I'm just adding dabs of water with my brush here. And while I like the smoothing of things out, I find when I use the silver black velvet for things like this, it's a little too pointed, like the strokes that I get, as opposed to if I use my my mop brush. My mop brush is a lot more organic in shape and gives me some nice rounded edges, which I like for my florals. So anyways, just gonna leave it at that. I think these three are great, and now we can kind of go ahead and add some leaves. So at the end is when we can maybe sort of come back and do some buds, is what I'd initially said, right? So mixing some of the leaf color, or let's get some of the green, yellowish green right here. And then I am getting some of my yellow ochre, which I also really love. And that's why there's a hole in it. I've been trying to not use it as much, but what am I saving it for, guys? Like, I need to use this in my paintings, so saving doesn't really make sense at this point. Okay, so taking my number 4 and with my mixed colors. Oop, I got a splatter. That's fine. I kind of like the splatter, so we're gonna leave it. What I want to do is I'm gonna try something different I can see that this area is slightly damp, so I'm just going to take my spray and I am going to spray it just in that area and see if I can get it to kind of flow over. Oh, let's see. Okay, I should have sprayed it some more because then it would have kind of gone over some more. But what I'm going to do is just help it move along a little bit and leave it that way. So it looks like the flowers are kind of bleeding. All right, so now we're going back in with this brush and I'm going to create my first leaf at the top here. So I'm going to give it like a twirl, getting into this area, this space of where we've done the spray. And then I'm starting the leaf from down here, pressing down, doing a little bit of a wave and then trailing off to the stem. Again, getting more of that green. I'm going to start on this side and then kind of do a little wave and then go back there. Perfect. And now I'm going to dip and get some of the darker green that I have and then just do a little bit of a trail halfway and then allow it to kind of seep into the color that we already have happening. All right, so there we go. We've got that. I'm just going to press this down and push all the color downward and then send some up backward to the edge there. And now using the same brush without washing anything off, I'm going to go ahead and add one peeking out from here because I want it to kind of come out from this whole area of nice color that's going on. And then I'm going to get some more of the darker green, and because we have this nice light area at the top, I'm going to add a leaf right there. And trying to give it that same kind of flowy look like I have done with the other leaves. And then just adding highlights of this darker green in there. And then just kind of going to add another one here to kind of get that effect that there's a bunch of leaves happening and allow the color to again seep in. All right, so now we're going to go back in, get some of the lighter green, and let's add, making sure that doesn't go off, let's add some over here and we'll have it go or have it look like a stem that's kind of protruding, and then just like that. So leaves are so easy to do or super calming to do, and if this is something new that you're venturing into, you should definitely check out the leaf beginner tutorials that I have. Well, it's one video, but the whole slew of videos are pertaining to loose florals. So you see how I'm getting like this two-tone leaf look? It's because the tip of my brush has the darker green as opposed to just the light green. And I like that because then my painting doesn't dry off looking flat, but it's giving me that nice dimension. I'm getting some more of the lighter green and I'm just gonna add like a stroke there so it looks like another leaf is right there. Perfect. I'm moving on, just gonna get some more of the yellow ochre and mix that in with the green. And now we can kind of do, I wish this flower was facing this way, then I could do the stem kind of going this way, but never mind, it's okay. Let's do a couple of leaves from this flower kind of coming out this way. So this one's going to be a lot lighter in color and just looser because it's on a smaller looking floral. And then I'm just going to take some more of the color on my, and then just have it plopping downward. So we've got direction here. I'm going to give it direction here as well. And there we go. Some very nice loose leaves. Adding a little bit of the darker green to the mixture to kind of give it some variation in color for my leaf. And this area was slightly damp, so we've got like this nice smooth effect happening. I'm gonna get some darker green and just add it very lightly onto these areas and allow it to kind of seep in and do its thing. And then whatever you have mixed left over, just kind of mix it onto your palette. I'm gonna get some of the lighter green now, mix that in. So now we have a whole bunch of green happening on the side. And getting some of my yellow ochre, I'm gonna mix that in with it on the side as well. And you know what, we don't even need, I don't think we need to do too much to this, because I love how this looks as is. I think my only thing would be to add a couple of leaves coming out from this flower right here. So maybe one coming out this way, a stem coming out this way, and then doing some leaves just like that. I'm going to get a little bit of that yellowish green on the tip of this brush to kind of get that two-toned hue for these leaves. And I'm giving it a wave to give it like a more organic looking shape. And then going to get some of the darker green. I'm just adding a couple of strokes in and around these leaves that we've just added. Yes, let's do one over here because we've got all this space at the bottom too, and it would be nice to give it some nice shape. I'm gonna get some water in my brush and then go and do the second half of this leaf. Just like that. And I'm just kind of moving the color around. If you don't see the color moving around very well, just kind of help it with the tip of your brush to kind of just allow watercolor to do its thing. Now I want to do one over here, so I'm going to try and get it to be lighter than these two. So I'm going to just dip the tip of my brush in water and then pull down and kind of trail off. I just want to make sure you guys are seeing perfect. Okay. And then again, just get a little bit of the darker green and just kind of help your leaves look more alive. For lack of a better way of explaining it. Okay, so that's that. What I also want to do, so I'm just examining the leaves. I think I want to do one just over here, but on a much lighter scale. So hopefully this is able to be lighter. So I'm getting some of that ochre, mixing it in, getting it in here, and just going very loose like this. And then just adding hints of the darker color or the hue just at the top and at the bottom, so it gives that nice shape. And I like how these are so loose and airy that I think I want to add some of these in this area right here at the top. So I'm just gonna simply add very loose strokes, adding some water for the second time if I need to go in, and just add it as a lighter version of leaves that are happening. So just like that there. And then adding some more of the yellow ochre. I like how this has happened. This is happening here. It would would be nice to kind of have a stem or something kind of coming out just a little bit and just like that here. Over on this rose. And just remember your white space. Try and leave as much white space as you can. And you should be fine. Okay, that's great. So now I guess you can either choose to have stems to these or leave them as they are and maybe continue doing more florals. It's entirely up to you guys. I think I will add some stems here. So I'm going to add some more of that yellowish green and the darker green with a hint of so used to saying carmine all the time, yellow ochre. And I don't want my stems to be too dark. I've realized when I do dark stems it kind of overpowers everything, so I'm going to make sure that my stems are a lot lighter, not just in color but also in like consistency. So we'll do stem happening over here on this end. I'm going to try and make it a little bit thicker, which means I'm going in for a second line since I'm using the number 4. I could have used the number 8 for this actually. But as I'm going in for the second time, I'm leaving a little bit of white space in there. I'm not really having it touch the flower, but just kind of have it going straight down. The other one from there, I'll probably have it just coming out this way. So do your stems as you feel fit. I'm kind of trying to, or don't do stems is what I also said you could do. And I'm just adding additional colors or dabs of color at the bottom and certain key areas in the stem so that when it dries, it's darker in these areas as opposed to the rest of it. And then that kind of adds something nice to your loose painting. So there we go, we've got that. And then finally this one. There's no better way to put this, but yeah, this one needs to have a stem on this side, I guess. So let's just do one this way. I did want it to be this way so it's closer to these, but I think what I'll do is I'm going to go back in later and add a couple of more stems with leaves or something like that, and just this way this gap is compensated for. But as of right now, this is how we are going to leave it. So again, like I mentioned, I'm just going to get a little bit of a darker green, slightly darker, and just add it at the tip and at the base so that these dry with like a nice green gradient happening. All right, and actually, you know what? This is what could save it, because you know how sometimes the roses do have stems coming out from their stems that has leaves. So could even do something like that. So for instance, this one could have one right here. Wow. Just trying really hard there for it to blend in. There we go. And the same thing, you can do some leaves right here, kind of more like the darker leaf that we've done at the top. And the other part right here. And just keep going. All right, I'll just do one smaller one. And then one just like off to the top or to the side here. And I think that's it. Just highlighting certain areas in these leaves with the darker green to kind of give it that nice two-tone hue and depth. Maybe I overdid it on this one here, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Perfect. Okay, there we go. This is it. I'm gonna do some here too. Sorry, it's not it. I lied. I'm just gonna do one here. I feel like they could benefit from it. And then a small one, like very loosely here. And then just adding some darker green to the top and the bottom there. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Okay. And you know what? Because we've got this like unintentional splatter, it would be nice to get a little bit of splatter on here. So I'm getting some of this green, mixing it up. And I am going to add some splatter here at the top. And then some here. And I want some over there. So let's just get some more of that color. Oh, there we go. I got some nice bigger. Oh, I'm not getting it anymore. Why not? All right, that's it. I think I will leave it as is for now, and later on I might say to myself, oh, I think you should go back in and do this, this, and this, in which case I might. But you guys will see the time lapse on my Instagram, so my stories at least, so make sure you are watching that and looking out for that. And but yeah, otherwise this is what we have. Very loose style of florals, focusing on using the color and having it blend in and just kind of letting loose without going into too much detail with certain things. I'm gonna switch my camera over so I can see if anyone has any questions, and then this way I can answer them and then say goodbye finally. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna read the comments really quickly to see if anyone had any questions. Hi Ritu, thank you. Hi Laura. Hi Bobby. Thanks. Zanette, I'm so glad, because it's so important that we tell ourselves to be brave sometimes, because sometimes it's easier to not be brave and stick in our comfort zones. Thanks, Jewel Tones. I think it's Gail, right? Remind me if, like, am I right? Jewel Tones, you are Gail, correct? Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Barbara. Okay, great. Awesome. So that's it for today, guys. As always, if you like this video and you're new to this channel, you just chanced upon this live with me, please do consider subscribing, because I have a lot of other videos like this. So definitely subscribe and check those out. Hit the like button, guys, if you like this video. And that's it. I just want to wish you guys a very happy Sunday. And again, Patty, congratulations. Join me next Sunday for May 30th. I know I had this whole 20K followers on YouTube before 30th of May, and I'm 1,000 short. That's okay. I'm kind of so enriched with the whole experience of the of doing the watercolor challenge, and everyone's been so lovely and amazing that I've not even had a chance to focus too much on the subscribership. But again, like, if you guys want to subscribe, you have friends who want to subscribe and would enjoy things like this, please do introduce them. And for everyone who's been asking if I'm going to be doing another challenge again, the answer is yes, and I will definitely be planning for something which is all florals. I deliberately didn't do all florals this time because I felt people were all flowered out. I'm never flowered out, but clearly there's others like me there. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, though, the Hello Clarice challenge, if you haven't had a chance to participate in it and would like to, this challenge is not going anywhere. It's always going to be online. So if you sign up for it on the website, you will start getting emails as of June 1st, based on whenever you sign up on it. And then you definitely join the group on Facebook. That's going to be continuing on indefinitely. And you can post there and I will definitely respond. I will interact with you. The only difference is you are doing it at your pace and in your time. All right, and that's it. All right, guys, so have a lovely Sunday, and we'll chat soon. Bye.